TalentCheetah presents today on August 29th. We're presenting a very useful topic by our illustrious founder and CEO, Rebecca Medina. Rebecca is going to be talking about the AI and the future of project management hiring. Are you ready? And Rebecca, as I mentioned, is the CEO of TalentCheetah. So first, I want to talk a little bit about TalentCheetah and Rebecca Medina. So first I want to talk about TalentCheetah. So most of you on the call are either already cheetahs or considering becoming cheetahs, or are companies that are considering hiring TalentCheetah. I just want to put a brief plug in for TalentCheetah. We are a free and easy to use recruitment platform that connects hiring decision makers directly with project management candidates in minutes. All of our project management professionals are vetted. We have a very robust 25-point vetting process, and all of them could be hired in minutes. We specialize in mid-market on the SMB, small and medium-sized companies, primarily technology companies that are looking to hire contractors for technical program management roles. We specialize exclusively in the 3 PMs: project management, program management, and product management. TalentCheetah gives hiring decision makers real-time access to our network of 175 plus and growing US professionals available immediately for open roles. We're Cheetah Fast. You can connect with our cheetahs. 80% of our cheetahs have PMPs, 75% of our cheetahs have masters or PhDs, and 65% are from underrepresented groups such as women, minorities, and veterans. We're agile. We're part-time, full-time. The opportunities that we have: part-time, full-time, temporary, long-term, on-site, hybrid, and remote. So that's the plug for TalentCheetah. Now about Rebecca. We're very fortunate to have Rebecca giving us the presentation today. She has an illustrious career, a distinguished TPM executive with 28 plus years leading global teams in primarily telecom and high-tech industries. She got her BA from Stanford, and she's a certified PMP. Her career includes not only founding TalentCheetah, which, as I just talked about, but it also includes working at Megapath, where she led successful PMO programs with large tech customers such as Cisco, Salesforce, and AT&T. And she's managed budgets up to $500 million. She's got a successful track record of launching PMOs, leading IT programs, and launching new products, as well as optimizing customer experiences. Her entrepreneurial journey includes Mobile Program Management LLC, which she founded prior to TalentCheetah, and she founded that in 2015 to provide strategic consulting to local SMBs. An advocate of servant leadership, Rebecca volunteers at her local church and her food bank. So with that, with no further ado, Rebecca, I'm going to stop sharing and turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for that kind introduction. And thank you, everyone who has taken time out of your busy day to spend the next hour with us and learn about this exciting topic, which, Walter, you said it so beautifully earlier. It is constantly changing. I mean, AI, you scroll social media on a daily basis, it seems there's a new tool out or a new competitor or new data. And so even putting together this presentation the last couple of weeks, I had to go in several times to make updates because that's how quickly the AI landscape is changing. So I just want to welcome everyone to our monthly webcast. We typically like to focus at the intersection of AI and project management. And today we'll be focusing also on project management hiring, because while AI is rapidly evolving, so is project management as it relates to AI, our jobs, and the manner in which we are hiring. So Jeff, thank you so much for being on this journey with us. You've been an incredible help to TalentCheetah as we are onboarding people onto our platform, and your servant leadership is inspiring. So I want to say thank you to you as we start the presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to kick this off. This really is meant to be an interactive session. Jeff will be our chat moderator. So if you'd like to post a question, go ahead and put it into the chat. If you're feeling brave, I encourage this to be as interactive as possible. Feel free to take yourself off of mute and ask the question directly. Sound good? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a 2-minute overview of who I am, because I think it's always important for us, especially as project managers, to understand our origin story. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. I moved up here to Northern California, where I now reside, San Jose, Silicon Valley, to attend Stanford University. And it was there at Stanford that I began to work for a small startup in Palo Alto called Media Blitz. They were a SaaS company. And really, that is where I began to get exposed to project management and how important it is to business success. On that journey, Media Blitz was ultimately acquired by Cheyenne Software in New York. Cheyenne was then acquired by Computer Associates here in Northern California, which was ultimately acquired by Broadcom. I share this because this story is not uncommon, especially in large tech hubs. There's a lot of merger and acquisition activity. And to be honest, that is really what piqued my interest in project management, because I never knew who I would be reporting to. I never knew what team I would be on. And so you constantly have to embrace change. And that's one of the core values, not only here at TalentCheetah, but also within our project management profession. I did spend 16 years with one of the companies that I worked for, that was Cobad. They too were merged with 3 parties, ultimately becoming Megapath Corporation. And it was there that I was able to work with large companies like Cisco and Salesforce on some of the programs that I managed. When I began my family in 2015, though, I could no longer put in the work hours required as an executive at that level. And so I tendered my resignation and began to work part-time here in the Bay Area, delivering independent consulting services, primarily project management services, to local SMBs. And it was during that experience that I was working with a client, and I had to step away from that engagement and was trying to help them find someone who can easily step in. And even with my connections within the Project Management Institute, our local chapters, and my LinkedIn connections, we were not able to find someone quick enough to fill that role. And so it motivated me to launch TalentCheetah, because I believe that every organization, especially those smaller organizations, deserve equitable access to project management talent and resources when they need them. We launched our MVP, TalentCheetah, our platform, in 2021. Couple of fun facts. I once recorded a PBS math special with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and my family and I are avid San Francisco 49er fans, much to the dismay of my Los Angeles family. The Rams are in the same division, the NFC, and it is a constant battle, but it makes it all the more fun. No booze, please, in the chat. Here on the right, you see my husband and I at a game, at a 49er game here in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium. And this is my family. I have a son named Adam, and we have 2 cats, Luke and Princess Leia. So that's about me. I'm going to go ahead and launch a poll very quickly here. Did you use an AI chatbot today? Because my goal is to find out how many of us are using chatbots on a regular basis. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll. Feel free to participate or not.
So of course, Jeremiah said
a couple of
yes.
seconds. Do you see that? Did you use an AI chatbot today? ChatGPT, Perplexity, any AI chatbot? Oh, nice, 63%. Good number. So it appears that the majority of us, myself included, have used an AI chatbot today. I'm going to publish the results very quickly here. 59%. Yes. And that seems to be in line. If you can see my screen here, Jeff, I'm on the PMI annual global survey, correct?
Yep.
And what the PMI survey indicates is that 21% of project managers say that they are using AI always or often in their management of projects. 82% of us who are senior leaders say that AI will have at least some impact on how projects are run within their organization. And a whopping 91% of respondents indicate that AI will have at least a moderate impact on our project management profession. And this is from the PMI annual global survey that was just taken in 2023. And some positive news about project management is that our industry is booming. Currently, there is a GDP of 25 trillion for project management oriented industries, and that per PMI is going to grow to 35 trillion by 2030. And I will send out this deck to all of you after our call so that you have access to the data that I'm using for this presentation. So you can take a deeper dive into a lot of the PMI documents that I was able to glean for this presentation. Within that same report, which was the PMI Job Growth and Talent Gap report, they provided this graph, which indicates that here in the United States, between 2017 and 2027, we're going to see an increase of 31% for project management roles. And with AI, we are definitely on track to see that and in fact exceed it. And this is from a different PMI white paper. It's called the 10-year employment trend, where they have predicted that we're going to need 25 million new project management professionals by 2030. And this is globally. It is due to 12 million new roles being created and 13 million roles that will be lost due to attrition or retirement by project managers. And so PMI refers to this as the talent gap. There's going to be more project management roles available than there are people available to fill them. And so PMI is focused on encouraging that next generation through some of their high school and higher education programs, encouraging them to pursue project management as a career, because as you all know, it is an incredible career, lots of growth opportunity, and I wouldn't want to do anything else, to be quite honest. So what I wanted to share with you is not only what PMI has provided us in terms of data points for project management, but also what is the US Bureau of Labor Statistics providing us in terms of the current state of the job market for project management in the US. And so this is from the BLS as of 2023. So in 2023, there were 947,630, so you definitely can't make that number up, project management specialist jobs in the US. And before preparing this presentation, I didn't know that the Bureau of Labor Statistics categorizes project management jobs as project management specialist. So whether you are a PMO director or an IT project manager, we all fall under this category of project management specialist. The industries with the highest employment for project management specialists are, of course, technology, construction, manufacturing, and financial services. Now, manufacturing is set to get the biggest impact from AI integration, and we'll talk a little bit about the why in a subsequent slide. And this mean average wage data is coming from Earning Power Project Management Salary Survey 2023. So the mean average wage for a project manager in the US is 120,000. And of course, having your PMP can increase that potential by as much as 33%. So if you are not credentialed and pursuing your credential, we wish you the best and are here to help in any capacity, including connecting you with resources, because we know how important the PMP is in the job market. This is from Built In, and it is the average median salaries for some of the more popular project management roles, starting from project coordinator, which oftentimes is a role that precedes a project management role. So the average salary here is on the right, and you'll see that, of course, with the more experience that you have and the greater your specialization, the higher the salary. And that's why we encourage project managers to pursue a specialization. And many of you are pursuing AI, which we're going to talk about more in a subsequent slide. So I'm going to pause there. Jeff, any questions? Okay, perfect. And then this is also from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and these are the top paying metropolitan areas. So if any of you are thinking about relocating, perhaps you should take a closer look at this graph. At the top of it is where I'm physically seated today, and that's San Jose, California, followed by San Francisco, which is our nearby city, and New York, which is across the US, followed by Alabama, Wyoming, Seattle. I believe we have some Seattle PMI folks on the call, DC, Boulder, Colorado. And so this data is important if you are interested in understanding where the top paying jobs for project managers are, because you're looking to relocate. And then this graph is from Manpower. They believe that whoever holds the talent holds the future. And I tend to agree with that statement. What they are showing here are the most sought after professions by employers globally. Now, this is not specific to project management. This is a general overview, but it gives us a sense of where employers are looking and specific industries. So number one is not a surprise, IT and data, and that is where AI fits in. We also have sales and marketing, operations and logistics, manufacturing and production. Number five, customer facing and front office. This area really is set to be heavily impacted by AI integration. And we will talk a little bit about that in a future slide. But what I want to say about this is that you'll see in all of these categories, there's project management need and project management jobs and opportunities. So I encourage you, if you are on the job market, to really take a look at what you are interested and what you are passionate about and pursue that from an industry perspective. Okay, so I'm going to launch another poll here. What is the #1 evolving trend in global project management? What is the #1 evolving trend in global project management? There we go. I'll give you 10 seconds. It's a fill-in. My project management peeps, what is the #1 evolving trend? I'll give you a hint. It's in the title of this presentation. All right, I'll share the results here. Anyone? Yes, AI. And with that, we are going to discuss some AI numbers, because there is quite a bit of misinformation out in the marketplace. If you're on social media, if you're on LinkedIn scrolling, there's so much information that's coming at us. And I wanted to take a macro view to provide you with what is really happening within the AI marketplace and how does it affect project management. So I'm starting with AI globally. What is happening? Well, AI, the reason why it is so prevalent today is that ChatGPT was launched by OpenAI, and this was made available to the public on November 30th, 2022. Now, it's really hard to believe that that's less than 2 years ago. With the growth and expansion and what we're seeing in the marketplace, it has been such a short period of time. Within 5 days, ChatGPT had over 1 million users. And to provide you with some context, it took Instagram 67 days to achieve that. And so what we saw with ChatGPT and the growth is beyond what we've seen in the past. And in April of this year, ChatGPT had 2 billion monthly visits on average. Now that has subsided since because of the increase in competition and some of the other AI tools, but nonetheless, they are the market leader currently. And at the AI Safety Summit in the UK, which was the end of last year, Elon Musk made this statement. You may have seen it on social media. He said, "I think we're seeing the most disruptive force in history. We will have something that for the first time is smarter than the smartest human. There will come a point where no job is needed." Now, I don't believe that to be true. And Elon Musk is really famous for these types of statements that create a lot of feedback and opinion. But at the end of the day, he's right in that AI, of course, this seismic shift to adoption will change not only the job market, but the nature of our jobs entirely, including project management. Some of the risks that will continue to be managed through the Safety Summit and other bodies of safety that are going to regulate and help define what AI should look like and how to be ethical. Some of the risks they're looking at include intentional and unintentional misuse. We've seen some of that already. Disinformation, which we are exposed to daily. Negative impact of cybersecurity, and the topic of our discussion today, which is what are the impacts to our labor market. So I want to provide some truth serum to you around the impacts of AI on the job market. This data is coming from the World Economic Forum, their Future of Jobs Report 2023. And this is a council, an international council that comes together, and they provide reports and information related specifically to the global job market. And in this report, they indicated that, in fact, yes, 85 million jobs will be impacted by AI. But here's the positive news, is that while AI will eliminate that many jobs, AI will also create 97 million new roles. So that's a net increase of 12 million jobs. Definitely not what Elon Musk indicated. Some of the most vulnerable categories, and you may be seeing this already, I know we're seeing that as we're going out and having conversations with hiring organizations: customer service, executive assistants and admins, graphic designers, data entry, transcription, market research analysts. So they will be the most heavily impacted. Some of the roles that are less impacted are those who must be in front of people managers, program managers, teachers who are sitting in front of students in higher education or elementary education, physicians and doctors who are seeing patients in person. So those are some of the lesser impacted roles by AI. And as I mentioned, AI is creating new roles. And some of them that we are aware of today include AI research scientist, prompt engineer. In fact, PMI has a certification that's specific to prompt engineering because there is an art to this. Deep learning engineer, AI chatbot developer, AI ethics and bias analyst, director of responsible AI. That sounds like a pretty cool job. And what I learned by researching for this presentation is that our US government has assigned for each of their bureaus chief AI officers and AI ethics program managers. At the end of the day, all of us are coming together to work toward a human-centric, trustworthy, and responsible AI, and we as project managers understand that well. What I wanted to highlight from this same World Economic Forum jobs report is that they include a top 10 list of the fastest growing jobs and then a top 10 list of the declining jobs. On that top 10 fastest growing, no surprise, number one is AI and machine learning specialist. At number 10, we see digital transformation specialist. And I know some of you on the call, this is your PM specialty, digital transformation. So that is only going to increase with the addition of AI. And there are opportunities for us as PMs as we begin to educate ourselves and really leverage the power of AI to upskill. All right, so I'm going to go to another poll. Which AI chatbot do you use the most? Which AI chatbot do you use the most? Are y'all seeing that?
I haven't seen the poll pop up. Or did you want us to put it in the chat?
Let's go ahead and put that in the chat and Jeff can call it out. Which AI chatbot do you use the most?
So we've got ChatGPT mostly, and Perplexity.ai. That's it. Perplexity and ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. I thought there would be.
And some people like Louisa set up many different customizations to ChatGPT. Obviously, the paid version of ChatGPT. And Jeremiah said that he uses Claude.
Okay.
And Rob Gardner says he's using a personal homemade version of a chatbot. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so Louisa and those with their homemade versions, we're always looking for speakers who are willing to share with our PM community how they're using AI. So if you're interested in a monthly series, let us know. We would be happy to have you. AI is a growing and ever evolving landscape. So we always welcome new speakers and new knowledge. I'm not surprised by the fact that ChatGPT is the most used. In fact, that is the global answer currently. There are others like Anthropic who are gaining. However, ChatGPT still remains the market leader.
Yeah.
And so the current state of generative AI adoption by PM, so this is more relevant to us as project managers, and this data is coming from PMI, their generative AI in project management survey. And per the responses from this survey, 20% of project professionals have become high AI adopters. And the way that they categorize high adopters is that the PM is using generative AI in more than half of their recent projects. They call these PMs trailblazers, and they're using AI to enhance project planning, communication, risk management, decision making. Where do you fall within these categories? Are you a trailblazer, or are you perhaps an explorer? Would anyone like to share with where they fall and why they think they're there? Anyone? Any innovators or trailblazers? Explorer. Jeff, what would you say you are?
I would say definitely I'm in the innovator category. I'm not quite a trailblazer yet, but I'm using it in 30 to 50% of everything that I do. I'm using Perplexity more and more. I was using ChatGPT exclusively because I wasn't pleased with Gemini at all. So I've been using ChatGPT, but more and more I've been starting to use Perplexity. And we have a Jeremiah saying he's a trailblazer. And Amog saying he's an explorer. Tanya also an explorer experimenter.
All right, Jeremiah, I'm going to put you on the spot if you feel comfortable. Unmute yourself and share why you feel you're a trailblazer.
Hello, hello. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I use AI for everything, and I use it as basically a brainstormer, and I've even created my own AI personal to my business. It's personalized to my business that houses all of my ICP, all of my messaging, every single thing that I'm doing, I can run through there. Project management methodologies, so I can create fast SOPs, a lot of things.
Nice, nice. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
Tomas, anything you want to share with us today? No, okay.
No worries.
No.
Thank you, Jeremiah. And we look forward to having you speak about your experience using AI in our next webcast next month. Jeremiah Hammond is our speaker. Thanks so much, Jeremiah.
Yes, excited.
Yeah. And as you guys know, this is evolving globally and impacting us as project managers. So as I was putting together the information, as I mentioned, I would have to make updates constantly because data is changing, and it's a really exciting time for us as project managers, because as you began to explore and experiment and move from that explorer category more into that innovator and trailblazer, you will find that AI, even the free version of ChatGPT, can improve your productivity. So if we look at this chart, this is from that same PMI survey. And what it shows is that some of the tasks that we as project managers manage, for instance, meeting notes summary. Do you remember before we had AI, how this went, how manual that process was, how you would have to type it up in OneNote or whatever you used? I know that we use Zoom, and Zoom automates this for us. It gives you your meeting notes after the call, as well as your action items. We don't have to do anything, and it does help with that productivity. And so this chart shows the tasks that we as PMs are able to outsource, if you will, delegate to AI. And meeting notes are one of the more popular. And we saw that here when we joined the call, how many note takers, AI note takers, joined the call with us. And you likely see that on all of your calls that you join. So anything that's repetitive, we as project managers can leverage AI for. Report generation, lessons learned. You type any type of template you need into AI, and you instantly get a template that you can use and integrate into your project. You can type in risk management log. You can type in project business case. Now, the business case is living up here, where it of course requires more human intervention, because the business case takes into consideration resources, P&L, services that are specific to your organization. So I don't see a business case being completely outsourced to AI anytime soon, but I could be wrong. But that would be an example of where we as project managers probably have to spend more cycles. Project decision making is another category, because it requires so many inputs and human engagement in order to derive that solution. PMI First Movers Advantage. This is a survey that was administered by PMI, and the question that you're seeing, it's our project management community. Pick the 2 skills you think are most important for successfully using Gen AI for managing projects. And so the first one is the ability to work with data. Data is not scary, PMs. Data is our friends. It helps us to make intelligent business choices. And as project managers, the need to be exposed and be comfortable with working with data is going to increase. The ability to define task requirements and specifications. And per Andre, he said the increasing integration of technology necessitates project professionals to enhance their emotional intelligence, communication, strategic thinking, and change management abilities to effectively navigate the interaction between technology and project stakeholders. Absolutely. So very quickly, are you a hiring decision maker? Yes or no? Are you a hiring decision maker? And if you are, does your team plan to hire a PM in the next 6 months? Because we are moving into project management hiring now. Okay. Anyone looking to hire Jeff in the next 6 months?
So we have most of the people saying they were or no, and they've done it in the past, but not at the present time.
Yes, some organizations are freezing their hiring due to the volatility of the marketplace, in particular with tech, but that creates new opportunities for us as PMs, and I'll talk about that in a later slide. So the top 3 trends in PM hiring, and this is in the US, you all may have experienced them. There's a higher demand for remote and hybrid project managers. There is a focus for hiring organizations on specialized skills and industry experience. And there's this shift that is happening from hiring full-time project managers to contract project managers. So I'm going to go quickly into each of these. The increased demand for remote and hybrid PMs. Since 2020, remote PM job offerings have increased by 135%. So the pandemic was that big experiment. Can you work as a remote team? The answer is yes. And I know there's a return to office mandate by many organizations where they're trying to get people to be in the office more, and they're setting up hybrid schedules, and that's been met with mixed feelings. But in the end, it has impacted the number of fully remote opportunities for PMs because companies can access a larger pool of talent versus only within their geographical reach. And this requires us as PMs to be proficient in digital communication and collaboration tools. The second emerging trend is there's been an increased focus on specialized skills and industry experience. And the market calls this skills-based hiring. And there's been a navigation to looking more at skills than even at college, the college that you have, or that used to be one of the most important factors, the bachelor's degree. Where did you earn that degree? Organizations are now looking at the skills that you have, that practical hands-on experience. They're able to prioritize AI-related competencies, prompt engineering, data analysis, AI tool integration. And the focus on soft skills is very much aligned with the power skills that PMI defines in the talent triangle. Those power skills here on the left: leadership, communication, teamwork, collaboration, because many of you are aware that a PM can have the theoretical knowledge and understand the framework and be able to put together the best WBS. But if they are not able to lead a team, if they are not able to navigate change, if they are not able to expeditiously problem solve, they are going to struggle. And that is why those soft skills or those power skills are so integral. This is a snapshot from the most in-demand technical skills that companies want. It's not specific to project management. It was in Fortune magazine, and it's from Wiley's Closing the Skills Gap report. But I show it because it aligns well with those PMI power skills: strategic thinking, digital communication. Check out number 3, project management, computer skills, engineering. And with this survey, 70% of HR reps indicated that their organization has a serious skills gap. Skills-based hiring team is not going away. This next one are the most in demand, and it's from that same survey, the most in demand soft skills. So here you see problem solving, time management, ability to adapt to change. All of these fall within project management and who we are. The more experienced you become, the better you become at these soft skills. So this next question, which soft skill do PMs feel is most important for career advancement? Which soft skill do PMs feel is more important, most important, I'm sorry, not more important, most important? What are we seeing, Jeff? Emotional intelligence, that's a good one, Jeremiah. It's not number one though. Number one, what's most important? Oh,
Communications, ability to write effectively.
Diane and Robert, you guys hit the nail on the head. The big reveal, it is communication. 68% of us say that communication is the most important soft skill for our community. I couldn't agree more. Project management is about communicating. Okay, so then I'm going to move on to this graph. This is the World Economic Forum, and this is a macro global trend. The organizations that provided feedback are companies across not only the US, but international. And they were asked, what are you going to focus on within the next 5 years? And number one tied is increased adoption of new and frontier technologies. That includes AI. And with this increased adoption will come increased need for project managers and project management roles. The second one is broadening digital access and some others. But I thought that was interesting that at a macro level, the adoption of technology is the number one most important trend for companies. And in that same report, we see that their number one barrier to meeting that is the skills gap. They don't feel that they have the right PM at the right time to execute or plan their projects. And that is their greatest barrier. The second one is their inability to attract talent. And as you saw, the talent gap within project management is only going to continue to grow, henceforth increasing us and our value as experienced project managers. And then the third trend is that companies are shifting toward hiring contract PMs over full-time employees. 60% of US employers plan to increase their hiring of contract workers. Really excited about that statistic because they have a need for flexibility in project-based hiring to address what we are all experiencing, which is market uncertainty and volatility. Hiring a contract PM is more cost-effective in the short term. In addition, companies have access to specialized skills that they need now for specific projects and programs, IT, digital transformation, PMO implementation, and they don't have to worry about the overhead of a full-time employee. And related to that is number 4, US companies are using freelance talent marketplaces to find project management talent. In fact, in the US, we have a 24% market share of the total global freelance platform marketplace. And within the freelance platform marketplace, project management leads the market with a rev share of 23%. So 23% of the time when companies are looking for talent on a freelance talent marketplace, they're looking for us, project managers. And the top 3 methods that companies use today to acquire talent include staffing and recruitment agencies, which, by the way, have been around since the 1940s, and not a lot has changed for them either. The second one, online job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, freelance marketplaces. Now, they have not been adopted at the rapid rate that job boards have, but they are increasing in value as we focus more on hiring contractors over FTEs. And of course, professional networking and referrals. So if you're on a job hunt or if you're looking for a project manager, I encourage you to network, get out there. PMI and chapter events are a great opportunity to do that. So how can we leverage generative AI in recruitment? Number one, automating job descriptions. I remember when I was hiring project managers, I would have to put these together myself, and it's an arduous task. Now with generative AI, you literally can type in what you're looking for and you instantly receive a job description that you have to minimally massage before finalizing it. So I've used this myself. You can also optimize candidate screening and matching by implementing Gen AI tools to screen and match candidates. That's another growing use case. And then of course, predictive analytics for candidate success. Gen AI can be used to predict the likelihood of a candidate success in a PM role by training the AI models on historical data that correlates with role success. Okay, so we're going to look at, we have a couple of minutes here, some real life use cases. And I'm going to bring over the free version of ChatGPT because I know not everyone uses the paid version. And if you are exploring AI for the first time, I encourage you to start here just to get a sense of how it works and the power behind it. So I'm going to click here on Try ChatGPT. And the use case that I'm going to enter is related to PM hiring. And the prompt is, I am looking to hire an experienced remote IT project manager with expertise in digital transformation for a one-year contract role in the healthcare industry. They must be PMP certified, experienced using Smartsheet, and have a minimum of 5 years of healthcare project management experience. Write a sample job description for this role. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Here, so that's the prompt that I'm going to use, and I'm going to plug it into ChatGPT. There, and this is what it will look like if you're logging into ChatGPT for the first time. You'll see here the prompt. So I'm going to Control V there and paste in that prompt. Click this arrow. There it is. And it's still going. This job description should help you attract the right candidates for this important role. And you can copy, paste that into an Excel, into a doc, and massage wherever you need to update, which is your company name and what have you. But literally within 30 seconds, we have a job description that we don't have to write, that we don't have to go out to LinkedIn and copy other like jobs. You can have it at your fingertips in less than 30 seconds, which I think is pretty cool. This next one, I'm going to use to ask the GPT for this remote IT PM role, which skills should I focus on as a hiring manager? So I'm going to continue my conversation and ask them for this role that I'm hiring for, what skills should I be looking for as the hiring manager? So I pasted in that prompt. And it says, as a hiring manager for the remote IT project manager role focused on digital transformation in healthcare, you should prioritize the following: project management expertise, PMP certification, healthcare project experience, technical proficiency, Smartsheet expertise, since I have that in my job description, healthcare IT knowledge, remote work capabilities, self-management, communication, leadership, And there we have a top 5 list of, as a hiring manager, what I should be looking for in my next hire. And then finally, for this same line of thought, I'm going to ask for this IT project manager remote role, provide a list of 25 interview questions. And so I'm creating my entire hiring toolkit here in just a few minutes. Okay, so I entered the prompt there. And there we go. Here's a list of 25 questions tailored for the remote IT project manager role focused on digital transformation in the healthcare industry. Can you walk us through a healthcare project you managed from start to finish? What were the key challenges and how did you overcome them? Describe your experience managing digital transformation projects. What approaches do you use to drive successful outcomes? And so I'd like to say thank you to Tanya Boyd for the recommendation for this question. Tanya, I told you I would use it and integrate it into the presentation. So thank you so much for providing us with that idea.
Thank you.
And with that, team, I did have a couple of other use cases that I wanted to walk through, but now that you have access to ChatGPT, the free version, and I will send along my deck, you can do that at a later time. I have a couple of use cases if you are looking for a job, how to use your resume to ask the GPT to provide you with job roles that you should be targeting based on your resume. And there it is. So I'll send this over to you guys. You can take a look at it and use it if it makes sense. And then finally, I am going to end with what I started, Project Management Institute, and all of the wonderful wealth of information that's available to you free of charge from PMI.org. They do have 3 certifications that you can start today: Generative AI Overview, Prompt Engineering, and Data Landscape of Generative AI. I have all of the links in the presentation that I'll send over to you. They also have an AI online community that you can opt into and engage directly with other PMs and AI enthusiasts. And of course, they have PMI Infinity, which is the PMI AI assistant. And with that, thank you everyone for joining us today at 12:54 Pacific time. Jeff?
Perfect timing, Rebecca, perfect timing. We've got 6 minutes left for Q&A. I know that some of the people had to jump off. We did have a total of 33 people in attendance, and now we're down to 28. So I know Jeremy had to go, and Kishore had to go as well. But if anyone has some questions for Rebecca, no, Kishore's still with us. Good, good. If anyone has some questions for Rebecca regarding the material she covered today, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Got a question specific to what y'all are seeing. Y'all are focused in this industry day in, day out, and have, a lot of different PMs that you're helping to find work. What is some of the best advice that you can give people to be prepared for the different challenges? Like, what are the barriers that y'all are seeing mainly to the people that are with TalentCheetah getting hired, and how do we address those gaps?
Do you want to start, Rebecca?
Sure, yes. I would say that it starts with you, and what we recommend to project managers is to understand who you are as a project manager, your past experience, what you're passionate about, and build your next dream opportunity. Whether you want to work for a scrappy startup or you want to work for an enterprise organization, really know who you are and what you're looking for in that next opportunity, so that you don't get tripped up with, I'm going to submit 2,000 resumes and hope that someone calls me back. You want to focus on only those opportunities that you know you are passionate about and that you will remain with. Because here's what we see happening sometimes is that PMs, in their rush to find something, they will take an opportunity that they know they're not a match for and that they're not too enthusiastic about. And while that may be okay for a couple of months, they end up back in the same place. And so that would be my advice, Tanya, is make that short list of the types of companies, industries, and opportunities that you're passionate about and focus your job search on only those opportunities.
Wow. That does make sense. I know that there's a lot of people in greater need at the moment too, that it's, kind of outweighing what's happening in the economy, and the need to find a job sometimes supersedes, what the passion is. So
Yes, Tanya, we see that as well. And it's hard being out there. It's emotionally taxing, it's draining. And we understand that perspective at TalentCheetah because we are also out there trying to find opportunities on behalf of our community. And so seeing the same level of rejection and no, not today, and so forth. And the way that we navigate that, Tanya, is that we keep on going. We don't allow any of that to allow us to retreat. We continue forward. The job market is crazy out there. AI definitely has added a very different flavor. But what I'll say is that in the chaos, there is great opportunity, especially for us as PMs, because as we all know, every project that's launched benefits from an experienced project manager. And that's who we are. That's the community that we love. And so we will all continue together. And if anyone needs anything, as Jeff has mentioned on the onboarding calls, we provide ongoing coaching and mentorship. We've had PMs call us and they are simply looking for someone to listen and to share in their frustration. We are here because we too, we are in the workforce as well, trying to find opportunities for you all. So it does get discouraging, but I encourage you by saying that the market itself and the data that I presented is positive. There is growth for project managers, and we too will come out of this crazy, chaotic environment. And working together is so important.
I agree with you. Thank you so much for sharing that and the positive mindset.
Yes, a growth mindset.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. Thank you, Tanya. Any other questions for myself, Jeff, or any of the fellow PMs on the bridge? We have a wealth of knowledge here on the call. PMI chapters across the US, maybe even internationally, right, Jeff?
That's right. That's right. Right now, we're it's really not a bad time. The economy notwithstanding, and all the layoffs that you hear in the news notwithstanding, there are opportunities out there. And as Rebecca said, if you focus on what you're passionate about and what kind of company you want to work for, again, I talk about this with each of you during the onboarding meetings, right? If you don't want to do the scattergun approach and send 2,000 resumes out to 2,000 companies. If you focus on what of the PM knowledge areas you're passionate about and what kind of company you would be a good cultural fit for, that's where you're going to achieve success. And there's a wealth of opportunities out there. As Rebecca showed with her statistics, a lot of companies are laying off people, full-timers, and hiring contractors to replace them. So there are opportunities out there, and Rebecca and I and others on the TalentCheetah team are working very hard to find opportunities for all of you.
I would also like to add, Jeff, that the tactics that I've seen that are more successful for a job search are not applying online to Indeed or LinkedIn. While there is some success there, my recommendation would be to try to connect with the hiring manager directly or someone who works for that company. So if you see an opportunity that's posted that you're interested in and it's at Five9, for instance, if you have someone in your network who works at Five9, reach out to them, let them know, because they may be able to get you an in that an ATS is going to block you from. So you have the ATSs. If you don't have the right words, the right keywords in your resume, you're never going to get in front of that hiring manager. In addition, a warm intro has you you 60 yards down the field versus trying to come cold with your application through an online mechanism. So that would be my advice, is to focus and to also work on those trusted relationships and getting yourself in front of a hiring manager, either that you directly know or that someone who you know knows, because that can benefit you and it's very helpful. They get thousands of resumes sometimes. And so having someone on your side to say, I've worked with Louisa in the past and she's an amazing PM and she did this, and being able to provide that professional reference, if you will, is valuable and will allow you to stand out from your competition.
Right.
Mhm.
Good. Well, thank you, Rebecca. We're 2 minutes over right now. Does anyone have any last questions for Rebecca or myself before we terminate the call? All right, very good. We will send you a PDF copy of the presentation that Rebecca did. And thank you all very much. And thank you, Rebecca. Great, great presentation. I hope everyone got as much out of it as I did.
Thank you,
Excellent.
Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
All right.
Awesome. Thank
Go
you.
Cheetahs.
Go Cheetahs!
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.